Hello everyone, my name is Kist, and welcome back to Rareheads Online. Today, we're checking out the new map and Splines update. Now, right off the bat, there is not too much new content added to the game physically, but we do have a lot of new GUI stuff that we can look at, and just a lot of cool gameplay features with the tracks themselves. There is no new rolling stock added to the game. The majority of the UI has stayed the same, but in terms of gameplay with the map and with our track construction, we have a lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and explore the update. To access the new map, the first thing we gotta do is we gotta press M. If you watched the dev vlog or seen some of the new content from the Rareheads Online channel, then you might have already known this and explored it, but for those who are now checking out the update, all you have to do is press M and to close or open the map again. As you can see, if we don't have it, you'll see in the bottom right we actually have a mini map that does change with our character direction. It tells us north is facing this way, west, east, and south. But let's press M and check out the map. The first thing you'll notice is the actual orientation. If you're used to Rareheads Online Extended or Railroad Studio, you'll know that this looks upside down. Supposedly, this is the actual correct orientation for the map. And we're here at the freight depot. Over here to the right is my large center yard. We have the sawmill, the logging camp, the oil industries, coal mine, iron mine, and smelter all the way down here. One thing I wish is, I do like the track, we can finally see it on the map, but I wish we can see it a little bit more bold. It's very hard to actually see the correct contour. Like, I can see the overall rough thing, but I wish they'd at least be either darker ink or thicker in nature. But it does look good. Another thing that we can see is we can actually flip the switches from the map. You have to do it on the stands themselves. Very nice. So if we press M real quickly, let's go over here. This is my little entrance for the spawn tracks. So they're both currently facing left. If I press M, zoom in here using the scroll wheel, I'm gonna flip these both right. And would you look at that? It works. Let's flip it again. Very nice. So you can do this while you're in the third person driving UI of any engine. And you should be able to, where's my cursor? You should be able to just use this while you're driving, and it's a nice quality of life for gameplay, so you don't have to worry about switching operations and using a third-party tool. You can actually do everything in the game now, which is very awesome. I can actually use my hump yard for actual operations just by myself or with a bunch of buddies. We can have like a yard master or a CTC operator. It should be very, very nice. Got my large roundhouse here. It actually does show us everything on the map quite literally. We have our sand house, a coaling tower, water tower, my turntable here, bunch of tracks, and just everything in, I would think, clear. I'm not really confused. It's a little hard to see the icons, even from where Mom's sitting, but I know that's the sawmill just because I know where it is. I see logging camp because of the axe, oil fields, ironworks, refinery, coal mine, iron mine. It is pretty clear to me. I can easily tell that these are my industries, and the more I zoom in, the more I can see stuff. Clearly the freight depot, engine sheds, all a bunch of stuff. Thankfully, if it's too cluttery, we can actually just get rid of everything. There you go. So now we have a pure, you can toggle the industries too. Very nice. I think this would be kind of cool. I think this is the center of the map. That is what I am thinking. So my industries, facilities. As you can see, this to me seems pretty self-explanatory. You just have a new feature. You can get really specific with it. I haven't really explored this too much. Very nice. So, all within M. Just press M to pull up the map, and you can see everything, toggle what you don't want. Maybe get some pictures from this, or toggle everything and get a nice screenshot of your layout. I don't know. Or you can go back to Rareheads Studio and explore it as well. Supposedly for Lake Valley and Aurora Falls, the map is also orientated the correct way, and everything should be the same on both the other maps. Transitioning now, what I wanted to do is actually look at the full UI when we're driving. So just like our last few updates, we have our new UI for driving in the third person menu. But now we have our minimap edition. You can see here that the minimap is also present and changes around with us. If I press M, I can still pull up the map and flip a switch. So let's say, I don't want to go into the Y. I want to go out of the freight depot. That's the wrong one. There she is. Okay, that looks good to me. Awesome. So now our switches are aligned to head out of the freight depot, and I'm currently waiting for our boiler pressure to get up to speed. Okay, we're just coming up to pressure now. Maybe I'll turn my generator down just a little bit so it's not so in our face. Alright, looks like we're blowing our safety just a little bit. I think we can finally get underway. One of the other things that was in the patch notes is they said that the brakes were fixed, so you don't insta-stop now. So, I'll just give her the beans. Let's see if we can find that to be true. So now we're at 20. Let's put on the brakes 100%. Okay. So it looks like the wheels stop spinning, and we do stop pretty quickly. Let's see if what happens if I don't go 100. Very nice. Now if I do 100. So if you do max brakes, you're going to get wheel slipping. If I do... Okay. That seems to be better. They still seem a little quick to the grip, if you will, to the punch. That might just be me. I think I am in a single locomotive, so I know it'll change when I actually, have weight behind it. But now let's just get going underway. Let's see if we can do some of these switching maneuvers. I'm currently lined up into the yard, but I want to follow the main line a little bit more, so I'm going to switch this. I think we're good. That one's not good, but I want to see what happens if we get really close to it. Will it give us an error? Or can I just do it right on top of the switch, essentially? Let's pull the reverser back so we get more speed. So here we are. We're about to pull up on that switch. Let's go ahead and flip. Yeah, so you can do it basically right on top of the switch or at least close by. So it's going to pull off the regulator, put on the brake, and stopped. Pretty quick, better than the brakes on my car, god dang. Another thing you can do is if you zoom in on assets close enough, you can actually see the information. I didn't put any information on this engine, so it has nothing to show. But on our rolling stock, you can see this in the devlog too, you can actually check out the rolling stock and see if cars are loaded. If we hover over the industry, you probably saw you actually see what the industry has and what it doesn't have. So I like it. I think it's a lot more clear what is going on. I feel like you can see the information a lot clearer and maybe in a little bit of an easier format, so you're not guessing or being like, man, I need to go to the sawmill. What do I need to bring? Or I need to go to the iron mine. What does it need? You don't have to go all the way there just to find out. You can actually just check from the map and prepare at your industries before heading there. So that's a point from me to Rose. I like this feature. I think it's going to be really nice for the gameplay. A quick note, and I think other users are going to say the same thing. I do not have any eye problems, but for me it seems the background is a lot more fuzzy. Like I'm getting that blue hue of the distance, but it just seems to me like that tree seems very fuzzy. And if I get closer, even the groundwork, it doesn't seem as high def until I get right next to it. This tree still seems kind of fuzzy to me, not clear. And it doesn't get really clear until I see it. The LOD is making me question a few things. So I hope that's just a user thing. I don't know if that's just now a thing for the distance, but the engine looks fine here. But I feel like the farther I get away, it just gets blurrier and blurrier. Could just be the lighting, I'm not too sure. But without further ado, with the map aspect checked out, let us go check out some of the splines, the stuff I really care about. So here I am currently at my hump yard, my classification yard in the center of my beautiful little map. And I have this little maintenance row, if you will. A track that you can come, bring your engine, and refill with sand, coal, and water, as you may need. However, I'm a little suspect on the spacing, so I actually want to replace everything and see if we can get it perfectly lined up on the track. And how do I do that? Well, I don't really need to worry anymore. All the facilities, not the industries I think, but all the facilities can now be linked to the tracks themselves. So if I look away, you can see it's still snapping to the track. I can. So if I get closer, I can link it to different tracks. But all the facilities can now link to our specific tracks. So I'm going to right click and go back, and I want to delete these guys. Just get rid of them. I want to replace them all. Let's start with the coaling tower because, you know, I actually deleted a gap in the track there. Let's go down here. You gotta use your arrow keys. Didn't realize that. So let's just turn this baby around. Okay, I think about there. This is about accurate to what I had, so let's keep that angle. Let's see, I want to place it there. So that should be perfectly aligned. Let's move it down. Let's see if the chute lines up pretty good. Yeah, I'd say so. That looks aligned to me. So let's go grab a water tower. I picked the brown one. And I want it on this side of the tracks. Looks like I need to turn it back the other way. Get kind of close so we don't have to worry about the tender too much. Let's drag out the spigot. Yeah, look at that. Nice centered over the track as well. And lastly, I had a sand house that went right over here. Can I get it on this side? Nope, I gotta change the orientation again. I want it, let's say, yeah, it looks a little tilted. Let's go right here. Oh, what? How come all of them have groundwork, but what? Alright. If I just take my ballast here. This is kind of funky. That's the first time I actually placed. Oh, what? Oh. Oh. That might be a pain to figure out later. That's a future KISS problem, not a current KISS problem. But if you just focus on the actual point, this makes it really easy and just less cumbersome. You can actually relax and just place English. You can actually place your facilities how you want them with little to no hassle. It makes it really easy now just to place them and get them right without spending 20 to 30 minutes just placing them once. God. But let's see. We have a little problem to fix. Let's see if we can just connect these back. I can just whoop. Let's see. Beautiful. I like how they made the links bigger too. I don't know if you noticed that. When you want to link to a piece of track, the links are now huge. So you can't really miss the link point now. That's kind of funny. So now we have our facilities. I want to build some track. I think I want to add we're going to go up to the coal mine and let's see if we can add a few tracks here. So here I am at the base of the coal mine and I want to add a second track to this set of rail. Going around this right curve to our grade, heading down the river, following the river if you will. If I go to our track instruction and press 3-foot rail 2, let's see. Actually, no. If I click my middle mouse button, choose any track you want to copy. I want to copy this one. Okay, so let me back up real quickly. By pressing your middle mouse button, the scroll wheel, you have our menu. This stuff, we see the theodolites, our demolition, logging, and re-rail tool. But we have a new one, the parallel tool. If I click it, it says choose any track you want to copy. So I want to go to this curve. I want to create a nice parallel curve. Now I can move this in any direction. And in theory, the further I get away from its epicenter, the smaller or the bigger the track will become to match the radius. So let's say I want to go here. Great. Now I want to copy this straight away. Here's my problem with this. Let's say I want to create a second track that's completely parallel. Now, do I just do this and just eyeball line them up, or can I link them? This one's set on a grade. Did it capture the grade? It did. So now what if I do this next one? This one's clearly on a grade. It did that as well. So a fun little test then is, will it do it to a curve as well? And the reason I say that is because curves are funky when it comes to grades. Let's do this one right here, this nice big curve. So in theory, this is a tighter radius. It should also be a steeper grade versus a not so steep grade on this side. So I'm going to pull it out. It's probably to here. I wonder, did it affect the grade at all? Maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know. This one clearly seems lower to me. Yeah. It clearly seems lower to me. This has to be lower. These look completely different. Yeah, and I'm standing on the ground. I can't go any more down. Okay. So this is one of the suspicions I had with it. Yeah, you'll have to compromise something. And I think the old school, if you will, the cast method, the old school method, is just to use your crossovers. So let me show you how I would create a double track for a curve like this. This is a grade, and I want to make it completely parallel and at the exact same grade. Okay, this is weird. How come I can't place it facing this direction? Why must it only go this way? If I place a track and then place it back the other direction, will I be able to do it? No. Okay, this might be a bug or an implemented feature, but it's one I do not like. To try to demonstrate this parallel track, I cannot. I want to place a spline facing this way, going down. Every time, as we would do normally, you would look in the opposite direction and place the rail. But for whatever the reason, it is placing it backwards. So, there's my new rail. Okay, well, let's just delete that spline. Okay. Now let me go grab that spline again. Why is it still only placing backwards? Why can't I connect it going this way? This works, but I wanted it to go the other way. Until I can figure out a better way to show that spline mechanism, I'm going to show you the basic way I know how to create parallel. It's basically just take a crossover, you find your link point, and you place another crossover. So let's get rid of this one. And we just use this to connect the tracks for our side-to-side spacing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go all the way over here to our other beautiful crossover. And I'm just going to connect point to point. And that way I have a pretty much almost parallel track. I say almost because there's a slight difference, as you can see right there. But there are better ways to get it more precise and accurate. But this way I just have a really easy way. And this time I can actually link to it. And maybe if I use the parallel tool, maybe I can get it accurate. But I'd probably prefer to do it the old way and just use crossovers, because that way I can get the exact spacings I want every time without fail, not just guessing and hoping I get it right. Maybe I can do both. Maybe I can just set my spacing and then use the parallel tool to try to line up. But in my experience, using a actual linked, 2 linked splines is better than just getting ones that are kind of close together. So we'll see. I hope to do this more and test a little bit more, and we will see what will happen. So now that we covered the facilities and linking them to the current track and checking out a little bit of the new building features, there's one last thing I want to do to end this. In the devlog, we were told that in freehand mode, splines are just going to conform to the terrain as best they can with no issue. And immediately what I thought of was a ramp. So what we're going to do to help end this video is we're going to try putting a nice, beautiful ramp up to that peak right there. So I'm going to hit place with my 30-foot long bridge. We're going to go all the way. Maybe too much all the way. Let's see, can I get it straight? Oh my god. Oh, baby. Oh, this is going to be fun. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it, and since you're here, consider liking, subscribing, and ringing the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Speaking of which, maybe you should click on one of these videos right here. Go ahead, do it.